had a big win in heat number 1. We've got him off 15. We've got Hyperactive off 5. And Nudie Run is our 0 man. We'll get out of the way of the clock, Sammy, because they won't be able to see it from here. So 0 is Paul Lake in the Nudie Run. Sammy, you probably haven't seen a lot of clocks start racing, although the hydros in the States do it all the time.
Yeah, mate, years ago they used to have handicap racing, but, it seemed to go by the board like a lot of things. And, look, it's good to see it back. It's good to see, that everyone's given a reasonable chance at picking a winner. And it can be very, very interesting indeed, Bisho.
Yeah, look, I think the starts are the really important thing in this stuff, Sammy. You got to time your run right to hit that start line right on 0 and not be early and not be late and cost yourself time. So a lot of skill involved.
Oh, of course there is, yep. And as you said, if you're 1 or 2 seconds later than what you should be, mate, then that's putting an enormous amount of pressure on you to, not only make up maybe 10 seconds, you've got to make up 12, 13. So
exactly right.
Be spot on, mate, as you get to that line, as you said, and right on time when that clock is at your time of the go. So the boys down the top end now, just settling down in the water, waiting for the OK and waiting for the clock to start.
Absolutely right. And the white flag comes up. Sammy, my nephew, actually is the driver of the Amarok, so I'll try not to be too biased, but the kid goes all right. I taught him everything he knows.
Well, that's bloody good. That's good. A lot of good drivers, top drivers, mate, won't tell them anything. So it's good that you've come across.
I wouldn't say I was a good driver. Didn't we just talk about how I've fallen out of 2 boats before? Got to find the edge, don't you? Yeah, we're at 30 seconds right now. 30 seconds gone. So Paul Lake, they call him the Stig, Sammy, for some odd reason. Once a couple of lubrications get tipped into his throat, the helmet goes on, which is fine, but unfortunately the clothes come off. And we call him the Stig in the VOC. Old Lakey, hence the name of the boat, Nudie Run. It's a little 17-foot flight craft, actually. Here's 0 now, 1-0. So we'll time him, he is 4 seconds late to the start, so he's cost himself 4 seconds there. Look at Scott Rouse just trimming the dial off that little, he's at 5. He's cost himself about 6 seconds there. Matt White on 15. Beautiful start for Matty there, 1 second late. I reckon he was at 16 seconds there. So, beautiful start there for Matty. The only guy that was probably a little bit late was Scotty Rouse in the little Camaro boat, the Hyperactive. So that's going to put pressure on him now because it means that Matt White's actually got a little bit of an advantage over him because he did a better start, Sammy.
And he really got in a bit of trouble back there at the back of the field, Bisho.
Yeah.
Out of the corner.
Geez, I obviously did teach him everything he knows. Matty White trying very, very hard to make up some ground here on Scott Rouse at the moment, as to Scotty Rouse trying to make up the ground on Paul Lake. So this is what handicap racing's all about. The idea is that it'll be a drag race to the finish line on the last lap. So Lakey trying to hold him off. He did a good job in race number 1. He wasn't that far off. I think 5 seconds and 15 is probably a fair ask for these boys. So we'll just see how it pans out. Scotty Rouse has absolutely just got the head down and the bum up at the moment in the Hyperactive as he comes through. Matty White throwing everything at the Amarok. Plenty of trim into that little Dan craft now. So out in front we've got the Flight craft. Then we've got the Camaro. And then back to the Dan craft. So Scotty Rouse trying to make ground up on Lakey now. And it doesn't seem like anyone's making any ground on anyone at the moment.
No, well, I was just looking at Whitey coming out of the top corner there, and he really had it sitting on the tail, mate. He had it lifted into the air, and I thought, whoop, I think that's a little bit high, but he is trying everything, Bisho, to make up as little or as much ground as possible.
Yep.
On the second place getter, and then that's the way he's got to work it. Go to the second, then he dials himself in and says, right, I'm after that leader now.
Got to try and catch first, absolutely. But
look at him this time round. Look.
Oh, he's driving that really well. Driving it beautifully. He'll be, as I said a bit earlier on, He races, he's a very good ski race boat driver. He's got his own ski race boat that he drives. And he's racing a car at Winton in a couple of weeks as well. So the kid can pedal a bit.
I reckon if he goes from out there at the moment, though, driving, mate, because he has really got her on the 9/10 or the 10/10, but he's making up that ground. That's the important thing, Rico.
He's trying very hard, but I tell you what, Lakey's the man out in front. I tell you what, he's maintaining a good gap back to these guys at the moment. They've got 4 laps to try and get the job done. And really, well, there's absolutely bugger all in it at the moment.
Well, there certainly isn't. It looks as if it's still static, but by golly, the pressure is now being applied, and the gaps are now starting to not widen. They're starting to get a little bit thinner now, Bisho.
Yeah.
They come round, so the yellow flag out. This will be all or nothing over the lap to go.
Gee, it's going to be tough work for both Scott Rouse and Matt White. Look at Matt just trying to maintain some boat speed running wide there. Scotty Rouse taking the opposite option there, dropping into the wash of Paul Lake, and he actually loses a bit of ground doing that. So the yellow flag comes out. There's 1 lap to go. I think Matty White's got a sniff here. He can see the transom of Scott Rouse, and he just storms down round the outside and pulls up alongside the Hyperactive. It's going to be on for the last lap.
It certainly is, and that's what I said. He's after that second place getter, and then the leader, well, it'll come if he can get past the second. So he's really trying hard. Look at him. He's up to within about 2 boat lengths. Can he finally run down the second place getter, Bisho?
Well, I don't know. Scotty Rouse has found a new lease of life, and he pulls a little bit on Matt. Done down into the bottom turn. The guy out in front, we've forgotten about him a little bit because he's just having a nice clean run out there. He's doing a great job. Paul the Nudie Run Lake. The real battle's on for second place here at the moment.
It certainly is, and the race leader as he comes into the front straight, I think he's got this one. But have a look at second and third. Oh, there's a watch coming out there from Rousey going out and taking Wardy very, very wide. But it's going to be a good win, Bisho.
Paul Lake takes a win, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Rouse into second. Matty White charging hard into third place. Just couldn't quite get the job done. But fantastic driving by all 3 competitors out there. We need the 25 horsepower drivers to the pits, please. We need